talk today. We're going to tell you all about water. We want you to make as much noise and get as interactive as possible. It's only 15 minutes long, so we want you to get really busy. My name is Luckwell. I'm a water scientist at Bristol Water, and this is Hayley Bellringer, who's a water sampler. In a minute, we're going to take you on a journey from the largest source of water that supplies Bristol. It's called the Gloucester Canal, and we're going to take you through the largest treatment works that Bristol Water operate, called Purton. By the end of it, you'll have a greater knowledge about what is actually involved in treating water, and we're also going to discuss why we need to save water as well. Okay, so first of all, can you see that? So can anybody tell me what we use water for? Stick your hands up if you know. Yes. Perfect. We need to drink it and make our body grow. Any other suggestions? The lady here?
We need
For teeth and for drink, that's right. We could also do, very good, washing the cars, helping our garden grow. There's so many uses for it, but I think the most important of all is for our bodies. So did you know our bodies are at 50 or 75% water? We're basically big bags of fluid. Now, this is where we get interactive. So I want you all to imagine now that you are droplets of water. Okay, follow the actions as we go along. Right. That's it, hands above high, and you're floating around up in a cloud, up in the sky, nice and relaxed, but then get ready to do the rain action. Here it comes. And splosh. Hang on a second. Splosh. So you've hit the ground and you've landed in a field and it's really mucky. And you're going to go rolling through the field. So let's do some rolling action. As you're rolling, you're going to pick up on all the mucky stuff that's in the field. Okay, so you've got things like leaves and twigs. You've also got mud, grass. That's all stuck on you as well. As you're rolling through all this mucky stuff, so you're going to change colour. All those different colours that you change. On the fields are also things like chemicals or pesticides that the farmers may put on the ground to stop the bugs from eating all the crops. And we've also got metals as well. Metals from the soil, so there's little bits stuck in you. You see Hayley, our water droplet, is now getting fully loaded. There's also cow pats in the fields, you've rolled through some of those. So you've actually got bacteria that's stuck on you as well. And to be honest, Hayley, you don't smell too good either. There's also lots of smelly things as well. Okay. So as you're rolling through this field, if you look on the screen, you will see a river, and that's where you want to get to. You've landed where the yellow star is, and you're rolling your way towards the river. Does anybody know the name of the river? Yes, River Severn, bang on, top prize. And you want to get to where that red circle is, but you can't actually get there. You want to get there because that's where your mates are in the river, but there is a canal in between you and the river. Now this canal actually connects onto the River Severn, and the canal is the largest source of water for Bristol. Right, we're going to do some bobbing action now. So we're going to spend about half a day bobbing down the canal. And on your left, you see a sign for Purton Treatment Works. This is the big cleaning station. We've got all this mucky stuff on us that we need to get rid of. To get into the canal, we have to pass through some very large screens. They look a bit like escalators. The water passes through small holes in the screens, and as the screens move up, so they lift things like sticks, leaves and twigs, and they lift it out. That one on the bottom left, you can see there's a big pile of sticks and leaves there. So that's the first bit done. Then we actually need to get you into the treatment works. Now to do this, we use huge pumps, massive pumps. We've got some pumping sound effects coming up for you now, so Hayley, can you show us the pump action? Before you do that, can you demonstrate a pump actually? Pumps are like big fans, loads and loads of fans all combined together. You spin around really fast, and pull water in, and then push water out. And we're about to get pushed up this big dark tunnel here. Ready? Get ready for the pump action. There we go. Pump, 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 come on! Pump, 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 see you moving. Pump, that's it, very good. Okay. So now we're into the treatment works, and the next stage is colour removal. Now we expect the water to come out of our tap crystal clear, otherwise Bristol Water may get some complaints. The way we remove colour is to use a gas called ozone. So we're going to stick you in a big tank, actually in a big fish tank, and in the bottom we have these air stones, loads of them. And we're going to pump the ozone gas, which is really rich in oxygen, through these air stones, and it's going to fizz, a bit like taking the bottle off top of a bottle of lemonade. Goodbye colour. Should we do some bubbles? Okay. Right, get ready for some bubble action. Everybody, bubble pop in, here we go. See the big tank floating around, and it tickles a little bit, all of these bubbles. All those little bubbles of oxygen are grabbing onto the cup. Did we get any? Keep going.
I'm free.
It's the 4D experience. Right, so we've moved the colour, great. Ozone is also really good at removing some metals. Some metals actually dissolve into water. So we're not talking about little bits of metal that stick on you, these are the stuff that's dissolved. A bit like sugar in a cup of tea. So if you put sugar in your cup of tea, how do you get the sugar back out of the tea? It's the same with the metals. They dissolve into the water, and we use ozone, which is rich in oxygen, and it reaches in and it grabs those metals and changes them back into little particles again. And that's something that we can work with. Okay, the next bit is called coagulation. It's a big one. This is where we add a liquid glue to the water, and it sticks together all of those little bits of grass and twigs and all metals, combines everything in together into sticky little lumps. To get the coagulant into the water, we need to do some mixing. So you can see the little waterfall there where the yellow star is. So we're going to go over this waterfall, and we need a lot of energy to do some mixing. Mix the batter, come on, let's mix, 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 mix. That's it, keep it going. Well done. Now we've had a good workout, the next stage is called settlement. So all we do, we're going to stick you in some tanks and let you settle. And all of those squidgy little bits are just going to fall off. Close your eyes if you want. Just enjoy. This is the easy bit. Oh, there we go. We've got to move on. Okay. Now you've still got some of those little sticky bits on you, despite all that settlement that we just did, and some of them are stuck on your back and you can't quite get them off. So the way we're going to remove them is to put you through a filter, and we have 10 huge sand filters, basically giant sand pits, and we put the water on top, and the water trickles down through the sand, and the sand takes out all those little lumps. The sand's about this big, and about the size of this tent. So imagine 10 of those. Now you still smell a bit funny, Hayley. So the way we take out smell from water is, again, we have big filters, a bit like the sand filters, but this time we use a special type of sand called activated carbon. And it almost reaches in and absorbs all the smell and some taste from the water, a bit like a sponge. They're also really good for taking out pesticides, herbicides, and those harmful chemicals that are put onto fields as well. Right. You feeling cleaner? So we're nearly there. We've got rid of most of your stuff, but we still have some bacteria stuck on you. This next stage is called disinfection, and this is where we kill all the bugs. This is the most important stage of drinking water treatment, and to kill all the bacteria we use UV light. It's really bright, it's like looking at the sun. You can only look at it for a second or so. We're going to travel through a pipe and through the UV reactor, and inside are 30 strip lamps that glow really brightly. I like to think of them a bit like lightsabers. So if you want to get your lightsabers at the ready, we're going to kill some bugs. Ready? Keep going. Got to kill all the bad. So that's most of the bugs done. From this point, we've got a long way to go into Bristol, and so we wash you in a chemical called chlorine. And it's a bit like bleach. You're going to smell a little bit like a swimming pool, not quite as strong. Chlorine is important because it helps protect the water as it's travelling through the masses of pipes. Now, Bristol Water, the size of the Bristol Water network is around 4,000 miles, which is the same distance from Bristol to New York. So the water's got a long way to travel. So that chlorine gives it protection along the way. Okay. Final stage is to pump you into Bristol. We're going to pump you at a rate of 165 million litres. So to give you some context, that's about 7 bathtubs every second. That's a lot of water every single second. Can you remember the pump action? Right, let's do some pumping. We've got 17 miles to go just into Bristol. Here we go. Pump, 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 pump. And we're done. Right, well, I hope you've all had a good workout. As you can see, it takes a lot of energy and chemicals and a lot of processes to produce the clean drinking water that we would expect. Now we have a greater appreciation of what it takes to treat water. I just wondered if anybody can tell me what we can do to save it. It comes at an environmental cost, so the less we can use, the better it is for the environment, and that's what today is all about. So, any suggestions how you could save water? Use showers instead of baths. Top answer, brilliant. Yes, here at the front. Only what you want to drink, so don't waste it when you put it in your glass. Yes. You got one as well? Yeah. Yeah. Yes, you got one? Perfect. You're on the ball today. That's brilliant. Turn the tap off when don't leave it running when you're brushing your teeth. Yeah. Use a full load when you're doing your washing, your washing machine or in your dishwasher. Do you need to clean your car 3 times a week? Just be mindful of your hose pipes. All of this helps. So that's it from me. That's it from Hayley. Put your hands up if you learned something new today. Keep your hands up and give me a wave goodbye. Bye bye.